So her question is, how do you deal with internet trolls? I have a super quick answer, so I'll spit it out. I immediately block and delete. I do not believe that my online space is a space for negativity. One of the big things is like, especially around like, oh, she looks like a man or something like that, which doesn't, so a couple things. That specific area, I don't want little girls to look at it and be like, oh, if I work out, then men are gonna think this. So no negativity is allowed. And I lost my train of thought, so I'll hand it over to someone else.
I agree. My space, my rules. I treat it like my house, and I think about everyone's experience there. And it's not about disagreeing, it's about not adding value. So if you're saying something that might be helpful to someone else, or you're disagreeing with me, that stays up. I may or may not decide to have that conversation with you, but that's fine. If you're telling me that I'm ugly, it goes away, because that adds value to no one. And more important than me feeling insulted, someone else is going to read that and have an experience within themselves of shame. So I don't want that there. And the other thing that really changed for me, how many of you know 𝗪cie𝗺𝗃? Are you familiar with that woman? So the way she does her keynotes is it's like an interview, and I interviewed her for a keynote recently, and she like blew my mind about how she deals with it. And she said that most artists quit making art because they're great artists, but they're not very good at being babysitters of their art, and they're not very good at being lawyers for their art. And so they follow it around, and they make sure everyone understands, and they want to make sure that they're being nice to it, and all of this stuff, when really they just need to keep making art. And so I really walk away now, and I come back because people have very specific questions for me, and I want to make sure that I'm attentive, and it's not like I'm above comments, but I also make my art, and then I walk all the way away because I'm not responsible for what happens next.
I was going to say, from a personal perspective of dealing with it, a really amazing thing that Aaron told me when people were telling me that I needed to lose 40 pounds and I was a disgusting fat slob and all of those things when I had that picture go viral, is people only have to give what they have inside of them. So I think if you're the person receiving those comments, that's a really like helpful, easy reframe to know that it's not about you. If they're speaking to you like that, it's because they're speaking to themselves like that. So again, people only have to give out what they have inside of them. If they're spewing hate and negativity and nastiness, it has absolutely nothing to do with you and everything to do with themselves. So I think personally, that's like in the moment a really good way to remember why they're saying that and what's actually going on. So.
Can I make one other? Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm so sorry, but I remember what I was going to say. And has anyone heard like concepts about like if you leave one piece of litter in the neighborhood, then it's more likely to be like more litter? That totally happens online. If someone makes one negative comment and it sits there, then you'll see 15. And they may be someone addressing it like, hey, don't say that, or it's going to be more negative ones. So that's another reason I advocate for deleting it.
Yeah. Well, and for me, at this point, I have moderators too, so I don't actually see all the comments, and I'm not upset about that because I just miss out on more people telling me why I'm ugly. But that's purposeful. Like I don't have to receive all of that too. So when it gets to that place where it's overwhelming, have a friend. It's fun for them. There's a friend of mine that's always on Facebook, and she'll be like, "Ooh, let me get in the comments." It's like it's fun. So I don't actually even handle all of that anymore.
I was just going to say it's okay to ignore. You don't have to comment. Normally if you comment, then there's going to be something back. Or you could just kindly just agree to disagree. And I sometimes just post, oh, we'll just agree to disagree on this and go forward with it. Or take it private. I mean, if you really need to have the discussion with them, if you feel like you need to have it, don't put it out there public to everyone else. Like you can have the discussion, and then you really still probably need to agree to disagree, because they're just going to waste your time fighting back and forth.
Man. I've had a tremendous lot of negative comments on everything that I've ever hit publish on. And it used to be that I would sit there and I'd let it completely wreck and ruin my day, and I'd be like, how can I thoughtfully respond to this? What about this is right? What about this should I take as constructive feedback? And I have become you. I mercilessly delete and ban. Boom. Like the minute I'm 3 words in, I know the C word's coming. Delete, ban. I have no time for these people, and I know that my message is important to someone, and anything that is going to make me feel weird about continuing to speak my mind cannot exist. It just can't exist. So I use the power that I have, and I delete and ban, and I encourage you to do the same. And if you feel like you can't do that for some reason, delegate that shit to somebody who can.
Well said.
That was a great way to end it.